Criteria for writing emails. There is a certain criteria which you need to follow and which you need to teach your learners of business English about writing emails. This criteria, or we can say the components which need to go into an email, are also shared by memos. First of all is the subject line of an email. This basically summarizes the email's content. And it is important to keep in mind that a one-word subject line is not sufficient because it does not communicate fully what you want to convey to the reader. For example, if you write conference in your subject line, then it does not tell the reader or the listener what you want to convey when about the conference. When is this conference going to happen? Where is it going to happen? Who is going to attend, and so on. So it is important that the subject line must contain a subject as well as a focus, as shown in this image. Here, initially the writer wrote sales. Now, this one-word subject line does not tell anything about what the writer wants to convey. What about the sales? Are the sales going to happen this week or next week? Who is going to attend the sales, and so on. So, after improvement and revision, the subject line was changed to report on quarterly sales. Now, this tells the reader more about what is the full information which the writer wants to convey. This is an all-purpose template for memos, emails, and letters. And as you can see here, that in the introduction, it is an overview of what the whole email or the memo is going to contain, why you are writing, and what you are writing about. In the discussion part, there is a detailed development of what you want to convey, and it is made accessible through highlighting techniques, explaining exactly what you want to say, and your whole content is divided up into paragraphs and perhaps given bullet points. In the conclusion, then you state what is next and when is this going to occur and why is that date important. So you're calling for an action or giving suggestions about for future action. It is also important to recognize who are your audience, who are you writing the email for. If it is mostly in company, then you will be addressing high-tech audience, a low-tech audience, and because these are in-house audience, so they would be familiar with most of the acronyms and the technical terminology which you are using in the emails. So there is no need to explain it. And usually you will be sending complimentary copies to other readers as well. So then if these copies are going to people who are not in-house, who are external audience, then you will need to define that terminology in parenthetical brackets. For example, a word like CIA has to be defined in full words. What is going to be your style and tone? Here you have to be careful to use simple words and short sentences to make your content more accessible to all kinds of audience. Then you have to give specific details. You do not have to be vague. Do not use abstract terms which are not understood by all the audience whom you are addressing or who are going to read this email or this memo. Then your tone should be informal and friendly. Although you will be addressing your superiors and your subordinates as well as external audience, but you have to be careful to keep your tone informal and friendly. Basically, it is your audience who are going to determine that tone. So the components of your email would consist of an identification line in which you will these are mostly generated by the computer themselves. So you will give the date in which that will automatically be generated, who is writing, to whom are you writing, and the subject line. Then you will give an introduction in which you will be stating what you are writing about. Then in the discussion, you will be developing the information which you are giving, itemizing, giving bullet points to make the text more accessible. And then you will be giving the conclusion, putting all the threads together and giving suggestions, recommendations, and calling for future action. Then your audience are important here to recognize your audience so that you can choose the appropriate tone and your style. So this is an image which shows what was an email like, which shows that it was unfriendly and a demanding style before it was revised, and after revision it became more friendly and there was a more personal touch which came into the style. So there are various formats for emails which are available on the internet. Microsoft Word itself gives a lot of templates which are available but you have to choose the template which suits your purpose and which suits the type of audience whom you are addressing.